that interests you, please keep watching. There's a lot has been past 5 or so years about mindfulness. It's become very popular. And you may be wondering what mindfulness is. Well, there seems to be many interpretations depending on who you ask. And mindfulness is like that. How long is a piece of string? And mindfulness is a huge subject. It's a broad subject. Mindfulness cannot be explained just in one sentence because there's so many aspects to it, and it depends on what kind of mindfulness that you want to experience and to understand. And today what I'm going to do is just give the broad outline of what mindfulness is, and in other videos I'll hone it down to different types of mindfulness and how to practice mindfulness. And so today I want to look at what mindful basically is, and how you can start your journey on mindfulness. So I came across the term mindfulness many years ago when I was studying for my Master of Arts in Counselling, and it was a practice that we've done for years but never really named it. And we talked about focusing, we talked about relaxing our mind, we talked about just resting and having peace. We talked about living in the moment, and we never really named it mindfulness, but that's basically what all that is. It's the mindfulness is being mindful of your situation, and instead of thinking about 6 things at once, mindfulness focuses on the task that you're doing right now. It is living in the moment, and it's a great term, and I'm glad that somebody somewhere has coined that term, because it's an umbrella term, as I've said, for so many things. As I explained, that it's so broad, and so it's a great umbrella term. It encapsulates so much. But it is it's mindfulness, not that your mind is full, because we don't want our minds full, but it's mindfulness. We are being mindful of the moment. And if we live in the moment psychologically, it really helps us. This channel is about the mind, body, spirit connection, and our minds are absolute well. Our minds are like a well. They hold so much, and they can be overloaded to overflowing. And so we need mindfulness to give our minds focus and rest for the moment. You know, it's happened to you, it's happened to me, that we get busy and our mind is buzzing and we're thinking of 100 different things, and it's really difficult to concentrate and it's difficult to unwind. But if we practice mindfulness, it gives our mind not a stop but a pause. It's like pressing the pause button, just giving it a momentary rest, focusing on the moment, and then we can start again. Mindfulness is also helpful when we work, not just when we rest, but when we work. Multitasking used to be very fashionable, and when I was a young woman, I was taught in my workplace to multitask for productivity. If I was a good worker, I could multitask. And if I only did one task at a time, well, I was regarded as lazy. But thank goodness all those ideas are old-fashioned and gone out the window because they aren't helpful at all. We know now that multitasking, I used to have the speech impediment when I was younger, and sometimes it comes through. We know now that multitasking is not good for productivity. It really stops people working. We need to work on one task at a time, see that through, and do very well at it, and finish it, and then go on to the next task. If we multitask, we've got one task here, one task there, we're running from one to another, and we are dividing our focus on more than one thing. And I don't know about you, but it takes me time to focus on what I am doing, and to think about, well, this is what I'm doing, and to get into what we call the flow. That can take time, and depending on the person, how long that flow it takes to get in that flow. I'm very dyslexic, so it probably takes me some time, and there's probably some dyslexics that are listening to this. If you take time to get into the flow, it might be because of your dyslexia, and that's okay. That's how it works. We don't fight against these things. We learn what they are and why they are, and we learn to work with them. So I've learned to get into my flow and understand that it is a slow thing. And so I must focus on the one thing. I must be mindful of that one task and see that task through to completion. And once I'm in that workflow, I can do it. I'm on that one task. But if I'm on 2 or 3 or more tasks at the same time, I can be spinning my wheels, running around like a chook with my head cut off, like we say in Australia, and end up completely overwhelmed, completely burnt out, and that is no good at all. That's not good for our mind. That's not good for our bodies or our spirits. We need to be focused, and mindfulness helps us to do that. So remember, firstly, as I said first, mindfulness can be like pushing the pause button, giving ourselves that needed rest in the middle of our busy day. Secondly, mindfulness is not multitasking. It is focusing on one task at a time and doing it properly. Mindfulness in healing. Mindfulness is great if we need healing of our minds. You might think, my mind's not a physical thing. Why would I need healing? Well, our mind is a physical thing. The scientists have shown us that our mind and our heart connection is very, very real, and our mind is an entity of its own, but connected to our heart, connected to our body, and therefore our mind needs healing. Our mind can get scarred from hurts, from stresses, from depression, from tragedy, or a number of things. Our minds can be hurt, and our minds need to be healed. And one way that I found helpful to do that is colour therapy. Let me put my spectacles on here and I can show you. This is one of my colour therapy books. I'm just sharing this with you. I'm not affiliated with any companies to sell them, but this is just something that has helped me. And what it is just outlines, beautiful pictures, and you colour them in. And you choose the colours, and you choose the pace of it, and you just sit there with your coffee or your wine with nice music in the background, and you do your colour in. Or you can take your colour in down the beach. I live near the beach, and you can take it down to the beach, and you can, I'll get there a bit close, that's upside down, I can, oh no, it's not upside down, that's the way it is, oh I can see it now, sorry, I thought it was upside down, but this is a lovely picture, and you can colour it in, and as I said, I live by the beach, I take my colour pencils to the beach and just sit there and listen to the waves, and just focus in the moment, nothing matters, and I've produced some really nice pictures. This is one I've done. It took me a few weeks to do, and I coloured this in with coloured pencils, and then I laminated it, and now I use it as a cover of one of my planners, and so I'm really happy with that, and I look at that, it makes me happy. I think, well, I've done that. And while I was doing it, I was just focusing in the moment and focusing on the colours and in just enjoying it. And this is what mindfulness is about. It's about enjoying the moment. I enjoyed what I was doing. I decided on the colours. I loved the picture, and I just love the colours there. And I just really enjoyed doing it. And I have several of those that I tore out of the book, laminated it, and I use it in my planners as dashboards as well. Because I'm the type of person that if I'm going to do arty, crafty stuff, which I do a lot of, I do a lot of paintings, I've got my pictures framed around the house that I'll share with you at another time. I like things to be functional. And I just don't like things sitting in books in cupboards, and so laminating them, is good. You can make placemats out of them, you can do all sorts of things, use them as gifts, you can make them into, you can buy small books of mindfulness, you can make them into coasters, bookmarks, card covers, whatever you would like, so you can use them and to bless others so others can enjoy it as well. So that's a few tips on how mindfulness works. So it's concentrating in the moment. It's like putting that pause button on in the first instance to rest. You're busy and putting the pause button. Secondly, as I said, that, and secondly, it's like what it is not is multitasking. We must resist the temptation to multitask and to be mindful of the task at hand. And thirdly, we can do things to heal our mind, like colour therapy and other things. And so this is just a short video just to introduce you to mindfulness and how important mindfulness is. We live in such a busy world. We live in a world full of hustle and bustle and stress, and practicing mindfulness on a daily basis will help you with all of the stresses and strains of life. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell, and please comment and let me know those things that you do to help with mindfulness. I'd love to hear